What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Sports Bets, but mostly chaos. I'm Craig.
I'm Jonathan.
I'm Benny.
And I'm Jason.
All right. Well, we missed you guys last week. We weren't able to do a show, but we are back. So we know we got a jam-packed show. We got baseball action to get into. We got Battle of the Bay coming up this weekend. We're going to dive into that a little bit. We got NBA playoffs to update, as well as NHL playoffs to get you updated on as well. And then everything else to follow up, all the good stuff. So let's just jump right into the thick of things. We're going right to baseball. We got to talk about the A's and the Giants and just kind of get an update as where these teams are both at going into this first Battle of the Bay series over at Oracle Park in San Francisco this weekend. So Jason, John, I'll throw it out to you guys. And Ben, don't worry. We'll definitely include you. We'll talk about the Angels a little bit, talk about how they MLB likes to hype them up that they're so good, even though they're basically a 500 team at best. But
no need for low blows early in the show, sir.
We got to get them out of the way now, just to get a good sense of just exactly how this show's going to play out. But yeah, so John, Jason, I really want to know what you guys are feeling. I know up until this road trip, the A's had the best record in the month of June in all of baseball. They kind of ran in a tough patch at a couple of really tough games in New York. And they ended up only salvaging a split. They did get the win today against Texas, but they did only win 2 out of those 4 games there. So obviously not ideal to not get wins against teams that are just definitely not on that same level. But just, I know, yeah, this has been 2 weeks since we talked about it too. So just want to throw it out to you guys. How are you guys feeling right now about the A's, especially going up against the Giants this weekend, who have the best record in baseball?
You want to start, Jason, or you want me to start?
Go ahead.
I still feel real good about the A's. I mean, they came off a 7-game win streak. They lost 2 out of 3 in New York. Don't always play good in New York. I mean, same time, if you're going to lose a series, at least take one. Like I said, they're not getting swept. I can't remember the last time since the beginning of the season they got swept. Then Texas, I mean, Boston got swept by them in Texas earlier in the season. So, I mean, I don't like that stadium. It's just so it's so pitcher friendly, and it's just, the A's, they need that offense. And their bullpen game 1, Montas really, really struggled. We were down 5-0 after the first. And then game 3, I believe it was, the bullpen blew it late. But I mean, same time, they took a series split on the road. I can't complain. Now they're going to go face the Giants. They don't have to face the Giants' 2 best pitchers on the team. So, hey, no Gosman and no Descalfani. I could see 2 out of 3 here. What about you, Jason?
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. Before the show, I looked up. The A's are surprisingly hitting, not great, but they're hitting 14th in batting average, and they're 13th in ERA. So they are making improvements. We haven't talked about Luzardo getting demoted to AAA. Maybe
well-deserved.
Yeah, he has to get his head.
It's needed. Yeah,
get his head straight. Get some confidence back. The bullpen, I think, is just really hit and miss. I don't know who to trust back there. We're not even talking about Houston right now. Houston's on fire, and they've
winning again tonight, right?
Yeah, they're winning huge. So
Houston's beating up against the weak part of their schedule, which you could argue that's exactly what the A's did at the beginning of June. They had a weak part of the schedule. I mean, come on, they're beating Detroit and they're beating Baltimore. Like in this, it's about to be 11-game win streak now.
Yeah.
How many teams above 500 have they actually faced? They're doing what they need to do. They're doing what the A's.
They did manhandle the White Sox 4 games last weekend.
Yes,
so that played a big part. And
yes,
I was pretty shocked that Chicago didn't even salvage a game in that series. Like
Chicago has been looking really bad in the month of June, though. I mean, they're still winning games, but they're not looking like that dominant team they did the first 2 months. But I mean, everyone, it's a long season, 162 games. Everybody runs into that kind of part of the season.
And there's no, and I'm glad you brought up the Astros too, because they did get past, and assuming the Astros hold on to this win to hold on to their lead tonight, which I don't know what it is right now. The last time I looked, it was 6-1. It was 6-1 the last I looked, so probably nothing to worry about. But at least if you're an Astro fan, nothing to worry about there. But they're going to be 2 games behind Houston. When the clock hits midnight tonight, more than likely. So, it's no need to panic. There's still, 85, 90 games, whatever it is. There's still time to do it. So, but I mean, another thing too is, I mean, we're still about a month away from the trade deadline, and I know there's needs, and me specifically, I've been noticing certain players that I think are trending upwards, and there's players that are trending downwards that definitely have me kind of like, where are the concerns, So I guess my first question is, no,
Elvis,
Laureano
Andrews.
isn't like on fire right now, but he's one of the best players on this team, so you're not gonna look to try to replace him. Another thing too, Mark Hanna
fork in him, he's done.
Mark Hanna left today's game with a left hip strain, and that's not good. He's gonna have an MRI done tomorrow, so chances of him probably playing in San Francisco this weekend is probably slim to none. Hopefully he'll be, hopefully everything comes out negative. He'll be okay for the homestand starting on Tuesday. But I mean, some key players. So we've talked about this. I've been on the Trevor Story train that the A's need to go get this guy and everything. Ben, you don't even know who Trevor Story is.
You haven't heard my story yet.
To roll your eyes like you even have a clue of what's going on right now. But Elvis Andrews has been just one of the most consistent guys on this team for probably almost 2 months now. And I tweeted about it. I said I was ready to write that guy off. You guys are probably on the same train. We were probably all ready to write him off, but he's been consistent. Yeah, don't get me wrong. He's still not hitting the long ball. He's not doing it, but he's getting hits and he's getting on base. His batting average is probably just under 300, I think, if the numbers are right, probably in the last 30 something games. So I mean, don't get me wrong, Trevor Story, he's a solid bat, and maybe there's a way you can still plug the guy in, because let me tell you, guys are trending downwards. Mitch Moreland's a guy I'm not really seeing a whole lot from that guy. I know he's not getting in a whole lot of games, but I'm watching him going to bat, and he's facing right-handed hitters, and I'm like, they're going to throw him a slider down and in, and he's just swinging over on top of it. And I'm not seeing enough from him to really think that, I mean, he's a guy who's going to be like our big DH. Like, they're going to need more from that designated hitter spot, I think. Another guy trending downwards, I love Chad Pinder, but he's not doing enough either. His average is probably down to like 230 or something like that right now too. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want to see Pinder go anywhere. I don't want to see that guy being part of any deal, because I think he's just still too valuable, because he plays everywhere. He plays everywhere. Yeah.
He's
so
Swiss Army knife of defense.
And exactly. So, and then Tony Kemp, I mean, my God, that guy does. And the thing with Tony Kemp is, it's like, I keep thinking, and I said it today on the post game, is like, is there a shelf life on this version of Tony Kemp? Because it just seems like the fact that, he's never produced at this consistency, but it seems like every time it's like, now he's starting to bat leadoff here and there. He's playing left field. He's playing second base. I mean, he's playing solid defensively, and he's hitting the ball. So Tony Kemp has been a bright spot, and he is definitely helping this, especially when Laureano went down. I think Tony Kemp really made it a lot easier for the A's to kind of just keep rolling and keep moving forward, knowing that Ramon's out. So, and then, the guy, Steven Piscotty, he's hurt. I mean, he's hardly lineup. I really could see him possibly being packaged in a deal, because I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming he's getting paid a decent amount compared to the rest of the guys on the team. So maybe he's a guy that gets packaged in a deal eventually. But another thing, I'm actually curious though about you guys and how you guys feel about this one, because I don't see this getting addressed when it comes to trade deadline. I mean, I think the bullpen is probably going to be the top priority. I don't know if the A's are for sure going to go get a position player or not, but one position I actually would kind of like to see, and I don't know what options really out there, but I kind of wish the A's would go get a left-handed hitting catcher. And I think that's just because Garcia is a guy that I don't feel, I mean, look, I don't know. I can't say for sure what he does behind the plate and how big he is for the pitching staff, but offensively, I'm just like, this whole platoon thing that we've kind of always done in the Bob Melvin era. Like, I mean, like, let's face it, Sean Murphy is the A's number one catcher, and he's not a platoon situation. He's not going to only face left-handed hitters. No, he's going to be in there for 2 of every 3 games in a series, 3 of every 4 game series that they're going to have.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I don't know. I mean, I know this might sound silly, but like, I would honestly probably take Steven Vogt right now over Aramis Garcia. And I know that Vogt's not having a good year by any means, especially playing on that shit team that's in Arizona right now. But I just want to ask you guys, I mean, where are you guys feeling? I mean, I don't know if you guys know any left-handed hitting catchers that are possibly could be available on a little small deal, but I don't know. Am I crazy to want maybe a left-handed hitting catcher, guys?
There's no reason to go get another catcher because Murphy's the reason why they give him the day off every one day a week is because he's a catcher, wear and tear of a 162 game season. Give him a day off or 2 during the week. But Murphy's the everyday catcher. He's just that good behind the plate. Sure, his bat, he strikes out way too much. He doesn't get any solid contact. It's either home run, strikeout. That's it. Home run or strikeout. And I would love to see him get better contact. Something you brought up earlier today, I totally forgot about the guy because he's been on the shelf all year. Trevor Rosenthal.
Yeah.
Maybe the A's don't go for bullpen because he's coming back. They say like pretty soon, possibly. So they might be like, look, the bullpen's fine. It's doing what it's doing. We're about to get our actual closer back. We're fine. I think the thing they go for, I think their number one need is another veteran starting pitcher for the playoffs. Because I don't believe in Irvin or Caprillion for the playoffs. I think Caprillion is better than Irvin, but they both worry me. And the same time with Montas. I think Bassett and Mania are up here, and then you got Montas, and then you got Caprillion, and then you got Irvin. It's like that for me. Fires, when he does get back, he's going to be in a long relief role. Maybe package him somewhere with Piscotti if there even is a clubhouse that will accept Fires after what he did with the whole Astros situation. He might be blackballed for all I know. But yeah, I don't know about bullpen because I agree with you that it is a worrisome, and I even brought it up when I was talking about it. But let's see what happens if Rosenthal gets back right before the deadline. Let's see how we give him a couple of chances in the 9th inning. If he doesn't struggle, there's no reason to address the bullpen.
I think the only issue though with the whole Rosenthal thing is that even though, he's going to start getting in some baseball workouts here and there, and they're saying, maybe in August, it's not a for sure deal. He's just going to get right back on it and he's ready to go. I mean, there could be setbacks. There could be anything. I mean, I'm not sure. It's one of those things that I'm still not even sure we're even going to see this guy pitch for the A's this year, which it sucks. But I mean, it would be great if he shows up in August because they said it a lot on the postgame days. Like that would be almost like acquiring a guy at the deadline. He's a guy that you can just slot in there. So, I mean, if he could even be somewhat even, not even exactly the exact reliever he was last year, but just somewhat close to it, I think that would be, super beneficial for the A's.
Get Diekman and Trevino out of the 9th inning just because they're so inconsistent.
And I think another guy too that I was thinking about, though, at least bullpen wise, and Jay, I don't mean to cut you off before you had some input. I'll get to you. Is another guy I'm kind of like done with is also Birch Smith. I think they're trying to make him happen. And I think last year it was a kind of a nice little story. He kind of, early on it was like, oh, look at this guy. He's actually pitching pretty well. And then he got hurt. And he's just, I don't know. He's a guy I'm not comfortable right now with trying to hold. Like he kind of comes in to try to get those middle innings to kind of get to that back end of that bullpen. And it's like usually when they have a cushion lead and then he kind of gets it too close. And then all of a sudden now we got to deal with, bringing in Petit, because Petit pitches like every freaking day. And then you got to go with Diekman, which Diekman always scares me when he's on the mound. And then Trevino, which let's not be too hard on Trevino. He's been good overall in that spot.
Way better than he was 2 years ago.
Yeah, but anyways, Jay, I don't mean to cut you off, but go ahead and throw your input on.
No,
I guess maybe on the left-hand hitting catching thing I was mentioning.
There's not much out there. I mean, jeez.
Exactly, Ben. Thank you. That's what I wanted to say.
I mean,
you had one good thing. There you go.
There's his input on the not a really good hit. I kind of agree with you. Stephen Vogt would be the best guy, but I was going to talk about Chapman. Chapman's starting to move along a little bit. He's trying to maybe trend in the right direction. I have a name that I was thinking about today. They could possibly trade for is what about Nelson Cruz to be DH? Minnesota's on a downturn.
Yeah, I mean,
he may cost a little bit, but he's a bat.
Doesn't Nelson Cruz not like the A's?
He doesn't, but
I
Wow.
could see. I would think someone of his stature, he would have a no trade clause.
no.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's an idea, but I mean, if it was me, I'd just go get like Charlie Blackmon and Raimel Tapia from Colorado, also. But
Whatever.
that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
Okay, well, you know what?
Blackmon maybe. Tapia, he's still under control for too much longer. But yeah, Blackman's
I
up there
mean,
in
not
age. I
not
could see
if they
them.
do. Not if they do what they did when they went and got Samardzija. They went and got him when he had years on his contract. They went all in. They lost, and then they traded him. And guess who they got? They got Marcus Semien and Chris Bassett for him. So
Yeah.
that's
long as
another
it's not
idea.
a-
These are guys you could get, and you could just flop next year. Which I mean, it sucks because that makes you think of like, okay, they're just going to go for it all, and then it's the rebuild. But I've said it before. I think the A's might be doing that this year. This might be their last real big shot that they might really try to go for.
It
all,
is.
so.
It is our last good shot.
But,
And let's not forget, Matt Olson is throwing himself into
oh yeah,
maybe MVP conversation. I mean,
Oh no, he is. He's
Yeah.
Bet Online has him ranked third behind Vlad and Otani right now.
yeah. I mean, Otani's, I think, well, he's on a shitty team.
Vlad's
Right.
still leading odds wise, but Otani is putting himself. It's
He's an
neck
MVP
and
for
neck.
500 teams, so it's whatever.
yeah. But
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 that's
hey,
yeah.
But yeah, we'll get into a little bit of the Battle of the Bay this weekend. We'll talk about the Giants and just a little bit breakdown. But before I do that, I do want to get Ben involved in this, and I do want Ben to shine the dark light that is the LA Angels of Anaheim. Ben, tough 2 games against the Giants this week, huh?
I mean, if you're outside looking in, I think it was pretty respectable up until the extra innings, but it's cool. Prior to us having after we had finished our last podcast, they had a 3-game set against Arizona, and a couple games. Actually, they looked like they were going to blow the games and let Arizona actually get off that losing skid. But the Angels actually did the 3-game sweep. So they actually did muster up to be a game above 500 just to go and play the Oakland Athletics right away after. And they got right back into the cellar. But then they played Detroit, and with the 4-game set they had there, they actually won 3 out of 4 to, help kind of give them some positive energy going into San Francisco. But then they ended up not doing so well. They're playing in Anaheim against San Francisco and got shut out 5-0, and then losing game 2 9-3, which the Giants ended up putting 7 up in extra innings to
7 up.
take care of that game. So anyways,
Sounds delicious.
so they're right now currently 2 games under 500
Bless you.
Yep, thanks. Okay, anyways, 36-38 for their
I'm
record.
allergic to the Angels.
But Otani with 23 bombs, he did pretty good against Detroit. He's tied right now with Vlad for first overall in the league in home runs. So that was pretty good to see. Even in that 5-0 loss to. Oh, did Vlad just hit one?
He had one today.
Oh,
Yeah.
they went earlier, yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. So even with Heaney playing against the Giants, they put Heaney and Otani to play those 2 games against the Giants. They held him for the most part, but Heaney gave up the 5 runs, but he did have 10 Ks. He played pretty well, but it's just a good Giants team. That team's just really good. And that's why I'm going to have to root for him this weekend when we go see him. And
Surprise.
Otani looked pretty good. Didn't do too bad for himself. And then it was just mostly just again, the extra innings, bullpen just got lit up. So you can't really do much about it when a team goes and puts up 7 runs in extra innings on the 13th to just run away with it. So that was cool. But hopefully with them playing tomorrow against the Tampa Bay, we will see a 3-game set
Did it again.
and see them kind of get going again. And maybe at this point, all I'm hoping for is Ohtani to keep in the hunt with number 1 spot for home runs in the season. So that's all we really got to be excited for. And yeah, so it's pretty tough to watch them play, because especially against like Oakland, like there was no excitement, because it's like even when they got the lead a couple times and in a couple different games where they had the lead only once, I was like, this is going to disappear really quickly. And sure enough, it did. So the A's looked really good. So I was like, all right, cool. That was fun. And thankfully they got the hell out of there and can move on, because y'all just some assholes over there. Oh, but yeah, no. So back to you guys over there.
So
Anyone
speaking
else
of
fall asleep during that
the
segment?
yeah, so speaking of the Tampa Bay, did you guys watch the debut of Wander Franco at all?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, the highlights.
Pretty much.
Yep. Well, I watched that whole game. His swing is insane, and he's going to be 5 years from now he'll be an MVP.
Mark the tape.
Mark take.
Prison
Mark
betting
tape.
that.
Mark
Yep.
tape. I don't
Hey,
know,
can
Ben.
I-
You gonna
can
buy
I-
me a car?
All
Can I
right.
just this has to be a record that Craig has not done a drop in like what 20 minutes?
Yeah, this has
Oh
been a
my
while.
Done
god!
what?
I just realized that was my
He hasn't
fault.
done one all
I
show.
started doing it during Ben talking, and I just realized I never shared the computer audio.
So
you
no one heard
shenanigans.
us or the drops.
No, the drops that I was
No, we
playing,
didn't hear the drops.
It didn't.
Wow.
It's not. Yeah. So the whole time.
He's gonna Craig's gonna put this on YouTube, and the whole clip's gonna be like until now. It's gonna be us.
Everyone comes for the drops.
Yeah.
My bad, guys. I messed up. I guess
my.
that.
You're fired.
Yeah.
Now I gotta like just throw a
Quit
bunch
it,
in
move
there
on.
because make
Yeah.
up for lost time because I had one of those in there. I mean,
Just fucking embarrassing.
there was a we
My
suck
mom
again
is
in
gonna
there,
be
man.
so disappointed, dude.
Yeah.
Yikes.
All right. Well, look. So there's a big thing in MLB going on. I want to know if I'm not necessarily going to bring it up all the way because I feel like it might be
You're not gonna
involved
start
in the.
stripping.
Don't do
are you?
it.
It's
Don't do
gonna
it.
be it's gonna be
Don't.
No, I'm not. Relax. I'm just saying. Don't worry. We're gonna get into that at some
Oh.
point in the show. But really quickly, I just want to get maybe a little breakdown of maybe what to expect in this Battle of the Bay. Maybe we can get into the Giants a little bit. Exactly.
Giants sweep.
Because
Oh my God.
the Giants have been playing tremendously well. They're still doing it. They're finding ways to win, even in games like maybe even that game they had yesterday against Angels. Maybe they didn't fully deserve to win that game but they got themselves the extra innings and then they just completely went off. So, boys, just overall feeling of maybe predictions of what you guys expect to see this weekend.
Well, I kind of already predicted mine. I have the A's winning 2 out of 3. I have them winning tomorrow with Manai on the mound, and then I have them losing Saturday. Unfortunately, the game that we're going to with Motas, and then I have them winning Irvin. The Giants lefties will get to Motas early. Yashemsky, Slater, Dickerson, one of them hit a home run off him.
Slater's a righty,
And
whatever.
we'll see it to maybe they'll hit it to us. I don't know where we're sitting.
That would be what is the bleachers?
Right.
Yeah, but the bleachers, the bleachers at Oracle aren't the A's.
I'm
the
sorry,
Coliseum.
actually, all at it.
There's like so many different kind of bleachers,
Yeah, have you never
I'll-
been
I'll
there?
fill
You
the
don't know what
bleacher.
bleachers are like there? Or?
No, I've actually never sat at the bleachers. I've only ever sat
I've
their
never-
deck.
Mhm.
I've only
just
sat-
floor stuff.
Like, well, I got like 12 rows behind the dugout of the visitor
yeah.
dugout at one
I
time,
went to
and
that
then
one. Oh, that's
and then
right.
the
I really wanted to be
third
like
baseline.
who like even asked like you.
Greg.
Yeah, I forgot about
Nobody
that
cares.
one.
No,
Greg,
yeah.
I
Nobody
forgot
cares.
Greg bought us those tickets to that game.
Yeah.
That was those
No, that was
tickets
to
were
the
amazing.
Warriors, genius.
No, we got Giants tickets also. Remember? They played against the Cardinals.
Nobody cares.
I didn't go with you.
You didn't go?
No, I went with you to the Warriors game.
Yeah.
All right, this is getting Jason.
Yeah,
What is your
nobody
prediction? What
cares.
do you got for this weekend? How you feeling?
I'm gonna go opposite of Cohn. I think the Giants take 2 out of 3.
And
Run that guy.
get him out.
And he's a
Yes.
he's a Giants fan again.
I'm a realist. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? This is gonna with the A series and the Dodgers following. Good to talk about the Giants. You know, everyone thinks, are the Giants for real? I think if they do well against the A's and the Dodgers again, you really need to take them seriously as the best team in baseball. They have a bunch of guys on 1-year contracts. The funny part about this team is next year it could be a whole bunch of different guys because they have nobody really under contract. They were supposed to be good in 2022. They beat it by a year. I think Craig alluded to it earlier. Kevin Gausman's splitter might be the nastiest pitch in baseball. It could be up for debate. That thing is.
I don't want any of it.
That thing is filthy. The Giants are currently sitting 12th in batting average and 3rd in ERA. The good thing about California baseball is 4 teams out of the top 6 in baseball are from California. So,
All right, so Jay, you're taking one game. What game are they going to win?
you know what? The game that you guys go to,
That's exactly. He went the exact
So you're
opposite way
thinking
of I did.
the A's are going to lose the game. Sean Manaea is on the mound. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
So you think the righties get to the A's and not the lefties?
yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it should be a fun series. Yeah, looking forward to seeing it.
No, I think it's going to be a really good test for, I think, both squads, because I think exactly what you're saying is that I think I'm already convinced the Giants are a real team, and I think I've been ready to say that for a little while, that they think they're a real team. But considering, yeah, they have the A's for 3 and the Dodgers coming up, if they win both those series, then yeah, I think it's time to really start taking them serious. And yeah, Gausman's been terrific, and
Right.
I've kind of mentioned, I don't know if I said it on the show necessarily, I've said it to you guys separately about how I think Kevin Gausman should be highly considered to start the All-Star game for the National League. And I know Jake DeGrom by far, yeah, Jake DeGrom should be it. But the reality is the guy seems to be getting hurt in a start, comes out early, then goes back out. I don't think the Mets or him is going to want to even take the risk of him pitching in the All-Star game. So it's going to be one of those. Jake DeGrom is obviously 110% going to be a slam dunk. He's going to be an all-star. Just don't think he's going to pitch because of it. So Gausman's definitely a guy I think you very might well be seeing on the mound to start the all-star game. So really happy that the Jays are going to avoid seeing him. Earlier in the week, I think a week ago, it was lining up to, I thought it was going to be Gausman versus Manaea on Friday, which that'd be a hell of a pitching matchup because Sean Manaea has been really good over his last like 6 or 7 starts. So yeah, he's been really good. So I'm thinking that Manaea will hopefully the A's can offensively hit Cueto tomorrow and they'll be able to take Friday. Saturday, I think the Giants probably have the edge. I don't necessarily think Montas is going to pitch as bad as he did in his last start, but I could see that maybe being like a game where I think the Giants probably pull away. And then Sunday, I don't know. It's going to be up in the air. We'll see how Urban does. I think Long is pitching for the Giants. I don't know necessarily if he's been kind of just been pitching more of an opener situation, whether he's been pitching long innings in that. So
has Long been pitching long?
Is he pitching long? Good one. Good fucking joke. But anyways, but yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I'll be homer here. I'll say the A's are going to win 2 out of 3, but I'll say exactly what John did. I think they're going to lose the game Saturday, but I think they'll win Friday and Sunday. And then I guess Ben already said the Giants are going to sweep, so we'll let him live and die on that hill.
Well, no, I mean, going into that real quick before I start, it's Jason, what did you have to say that you got interrupted twice by Craig?
He didn't get interrupted. I was talking and then he tried to jump in and I continued talking. That's a different thing.
Drink your White Claw. Jason, what did you have to say?
I was just saying, this is the first time in probably 4 years that Oracle Park is going to probably be packed this weekend. It's going to be rowdy. It's going to be a good environment. So you guys should have a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I agree. It should be very nice to finally see max capacity for a Bay Area sports team. So I think everyone's been very excited for that, and for it to be the Battle of the Bay. I don't think it could have been a better fun atmosphere. I think if it was like Giants and Dodgers, it would be more of a hostile environment than a fun environment.
Well, some of these
So-
fans in these sporting events don't really know how to condone like actually conduct themselves in public anymore.
Looking at you, Ben.
So, but yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, no, and it definitely helps that both these teams are really good baseball teams.
Yeah.
So
No,
that's
it's-
going to add along, because I can't remember the last time that the two teams played each other where I think both teams were pretty good at the same time.
Probably
Yeah,
2012.
Necessarily, might have been 2012 the last time.
It's been a while since both teams have been very good contenders for playoff, like future situations. So
Yeah,
I think
sure.
that this year is going to be a good series to finally see. I would say that the A's would probably take 2 out of 3 if they had
Well, now they're not.
Laureano.
Well, now
No.
they're not.
If they had Laureano,
They do have
and
Laureano.
if they had, oh, they do.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
so, anyways,
clearly Ben
Leave it to
doesn't
the
know.
Angels fan to talk.
Leave it to
Canna-
Ben, who doesn't know.
well,
what
now that
he's
you guys,
even
I was gonna
talking
say
about.
Laureano and Canna, but since
You are
Canna
one
is now
pathetic
out,
loser.
I think that you
Hold
guys will
on.
get swept out. So here we go. I'm
Move on.
prison betting that, and my stalemate is
I'm
gonna be
sorry,
Craig.
we're actually all out of time. We need to move on to a different segment.
Damn it.
So don't worry, we might get into baseball maybe eventually at some point in the show, but we got to throw it over to the court. All right, NBA playoffs down to its final 4.
Well, that's
So-
cute, but what about
Nope.
the bets?
Oh, that's right. Good point.
Nice one,
Very-
Cahoon.
Very
one.
solid point. You're
Damn.
muted. I'll mute you again. Don't think I will. All right, we got bets. Ben, Jason, myself, we all had bets. Which one of you wants to start off? Ben,
Let's
why don't
start
we go
off
with you?
with Grant.
Because Ben, I'm pretty sure you had a pretty good day as you returned to some baseball bets.
You know what? After my
Got
Gamblers
done sucking up a
Anonymous
leprechaun.
meeting, and I said I wouldn't do it again, I fell back into my old ways, and I decided to take the Oakland Athletics against the Rangers, and money was made. So 5-1 victory there. And you got to go with the good old Yankees versus the KC Royals. Who the hell are they? So Yankees win 8-1. So back-to-back victories there earlier today. And I'm going to say that there's a good chance with 2 outs, top of the 9th, the Blue Jays are up 9-0 over the Orioles. That is going to probably cash. So I'm looking to go 3 for 3. That is called a hat trick, folks. So a lot to live up to. What about you, Jason?
It's a turkey in my
Gotta
book.
give him credit, man. He's
Yeah,
3-0.
blind squirrel
He
thumbs
hasn't
up.
done a baseball bet in a long time, and he comes out and just goes 3-0. Who is this guy?
So was that like money line or spread?
Just money lines.
He just took winners. Jason.
Today I took Oakland over the Rangers. Easy win.
Money.
Atlanta and Cincinnati had the over in 10 runs. They're currently sitting at 8 runs right now, I think.
7 right now.
7 in the bottom of the 8th, so I don't think that's going to win.
But there's a runner on second, so
Fine.
you never know.
Never know. I had Houston minus 1.5 runs over Detroit. That's going to win.
That was an easy one.
And Minnesota over Cleveland. They are both tied at 1 right now. So potential for probably 3 wins.
All right.
All right. Well, I had 6 bets today. I decided to go
6.
a little wild
You have a
crazy.
problem,
wall.
sir.
A little wild crazy on that A's Rangers game, so we'll just go through it. So first one, that was
Jays
a
win.
loss. I went and said there wasn't going to be a run in the first inning. I don't even know why I keep making this bet. This is
Yeah, I
one
don't
of
know why you do
probably the
either.
silliest things. But because when there's no runs in the first inning, I think I'm like the smartest man alive. But anyways,
do
yeah,
that.
the A's capitalized to score 3 runs in the first inning, which I'm happy about. If it's the A's doing it, making me lose it, then I'll take that one all day. So that one didn't win. I did take the A's to score over 4.5 runs as a team. They got to 5. That one hit, so 1 for 2 so far. Then these next 2 didn't pan out. I decided to get a little player friendly on these bets. I decided to take Chris Bassett to have at least 5 strikeouts. Well, he ended with 4. So didn't quite hit it. Bassett's his strikeout numbers have been really good over the year. Lately, it hasn't been as high. So I originally was thinking of either taking 5 or more or 7 or more. I said, nope, let's not do 7. His numbers have been down a little bit. I took 5. He was 1 strikeout away. So funny thing is, he actually opened the game with a strikeout, and I said, oh man, what a great start. And I said, you know what? That was my sign. I was like, he's not going to get it now. First batter, he gets a strikeout. I was like, he's not going to get it now. So also, this is the big bold one. This was just one of those. I look great if I get it. I said Matt Olson was going to hit a home run today. It was a plus 300. Olson had a good game, though. He was 2 for 3. He reached base 4 of his 5 plate appearances. So he had a good game. I knew he was going to do something good after going 0 for yesterday. Just didn't get the home run. So that was a tough one. That was one of those. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I'm not tripping too much. But and then I also took the A's to beat the Rangers. I was like, there's no way losing 3 out of 4. So that one panned out. And then the other game I took, the one bet I took that was outside of that A's Ranger game was I took the Dodgers over the Cubs. And I'm looking at the scores right now. And that game is literally just started. We got 1 out in the top of the first. So I just figured the Dodgers got to bounce back after getting swept by those Padres. So, and they got Walker Buehler on the mound, who I think is 7-0. So I figured.
Yeah, but they don't have Turner or Smith in the lineup. So it's
okay,
really
well, I'm pretty
ugly
sure
lineup.
I didn't ask who wasn't in the lineup. So, but let's officially move
Let's
this
go
thing
Cubs.
All right, that's kind of rude, but all right. All right, now I can officially go to basketball. I gotta get a White Claw. So, Jason, John, take it away. Let us know what's going on in those playoffs.
I'll start with the Warriors really quick. They had the NBA draft lottery, and they ended up with the 7th and the 14th pick. So for the next month draft, we'll see what they do. If they decide to draft 2 players, maybe package the picks to move up. Maybe they package the picks to get a player. We'll see what happens. What about you, Cohooney?
Oh, I wasn't sure if you were going to talk about the playoffs at all. But yeah, like Jason just said, they got the 7th pick from Minnesota, and then they got the 14th pick, regular pick. Unfortunate, the Minnesota was top 3 protected, meaning like if the Minnesota's pick was 4, Warriors could have got as much as the 4th pick. If it was 1, 2, or 3, it would have been next year's pick. But this year's draft is supposed to be really good, so if they decide to keep those 2 picks, hey, if they get someone good at 7. And then go into the playoffs. We're down to the final 4. We got the Hawks and Bucks. Hawks are up 1-0 in the series, and the Suns and Clippers Suns are up 2-0 in that game. Game 3 is going right now. Pretty shocking. Clippers took Game 7 even without Kawhi Leonard. Paul George wasn't Pandemic P. He was Paul George for Game 7. So, but they're down 2-0 right now with no Kawhi. And then the
That's
76ers,
too deep of a hole to come back from. Yeah.
No, it's not. They actually were down 2-0 in both the first 2 series.
said.
Both. Yeah, the Clippers were down 2-0 in the first and second round. They came back to win both in Game 7. But the crazy part is the 76ers, the number 1 seed, got knocked out by the Atlanta Hawks and Trae Young.
Yep.
Easily the biggest shocker of this NBA season. I mean, the Hawks were the 14th. They finished 14 out of 15 last year in the East. And to become, and now they're just, 3 wins away from the finals. Pretty crazy season. 2021 is wild.
Yeah, pretty.
It's been wild for all sports.
Devin Booker and Trae Young are coming out of their coming out party to everybody else. We knew about them obviously, but they're showing out. And Booker's playing with the mask on tonight. They're currently up 43-42 over the Clippers. Looks like I think it's
still well ago, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I think Phoenix is going to beat the Clippers without Kawhi. They're just their Suns are deep. They're a fun team to watch. Same with Atlanta. I love watching them play. Atlanta reminds me of the 2015 Warriors a little bit. They're very, they got Trae Young, which people want to compare to Curry, whatever. But he's fun to watch. The shimmy last night, drained a 3 in their face. The Bucks if they don't win this series, disappointing. Just you got Giannis, Drew Holiday, Middleton, a decent coach. You should have a title by now, and they're still just I don't know, just dragging.
Yeah, the Bucks have definitely been disappointing. The fact that they have made it to the conference finals, though, I don't know if they're going to fire Budenholzer, but if they if Atlanta does win this one,
Bugenhoser?
Rowan
yeah,
Gardner.
your
All right.
guys are hilarious.
What?
I do think though if the Bucks don't make it to the finals, the Bucks head coach could get fired after the season. It's
Yeah.
just too many. Yeah, they haven't made one final in the honest, campaign.
I agree. I think it's finals or bust for them.
Yeah, and then for teams that have been eliminated right now already, Ben Simmons is gone in Philly. He's done. They're going to trade him. I have no doubt. I have no doubt that Ben Simmons has played his last game in the 76ers.
Wow. that's
Where
amazing.
he goes,
Hot take.
Yep.
I don't know. And then the two other teams in the West that are going to make huge moves in the offseason, I don't know what they're going to do. But Lakers, I don't know if you guys saw, but Magic Johnson came out and said the Lakers are going to make a huge run at trading for Luka Doncic because Luka is not happy with Dallas right now. I mean, they just fired Rick Carlisle.
Run that guy.
Fuck. They just fired him, and I don't know if you guys saw who they hired. They hired Jason Kidd to be the next head coach, and
Not officially.
he's
but
awful. Okay, sorry, not officially, but come on, it's official.
No.
Jason Kidd is awful.
Now.
He is like Ty Lue. He is like he's like Jason Terry. I don't know why he keeps getting these head coaching jobs. He's terrible. So they keep doing these kind of moves, and Magic Johnson's correct, and Lucas somehow gets traded to the Lakers. Oh my God, LeBron will just be insufferable next year. And then Portland,
He'll
Portland,
just get poked in the eye again. He'll be out for the season.
That's true. and then Portland, they're gonna have to make some kind of drastic move because they're wasting Damian Lillard up there. And as much as people like to say CJ and Dame are the second best shooting backcourt in NBA history, the difference is CJ can't defend like Clay could. So you got two terrible defensive guards, and they're gonna have to make a move. I don't know what move they make, but those are the two. Okay, those are the three teams: the 76ers, the Lakers, and the Portland Trailblazers. Those are the three teams to look at before the draft next month on what they do.
Yeah, once the finals are over, the NBA offseason kicks in, obviously. But,
Mhm.
And then that's wild. It seems like big moves happening every week. So it'd be fun to keep an eye on.
NBA July 4th is right around the corner.
Yep.
Right on. By the way, as an impartial person who doesn't like watch basketball, really know much about it, I just want to say that I kind of hope the Phoenix Suns win it all. Just because I feel like back when I was like younger, I feel like the Suns were pretty shitty. It would be nice to see them kind of
The Suns
make their way up.
I don't know if you know who Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire are.
Oh, I know who they are.
I know Steve Nasher.
Yeah.
They haven't been relevant since.
No relation to Rick Nash, by the way, Ben. In case
Actually, when I first got into hockey, I actually did think they had some relation. But then I was like, well, one's kind of short and stubby white, and the other one's tall.
One's
skinny and white.
It was like,
Well, I mean, Steve Nash is Canadian. So
Hey, no, I remember seeing him like shooting pucks or whatever, like during when they flew in for a thing and shit. So it was pretty funny to watch. I was like, all right, he's really lengthy.
Shit. Yeah.
no, but the Phoenix owner, he was getting harassed by fans like 3 or 4 years ago. They wanted him to sell the team. And look at him now. They're like, winning cures everything, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, pretty much anything.
And if it doesn't work, you just move to Vegas. Just ask the Raiders.
What have they won? What have they won since they moved to Vegas?
What have they won?
They won Monday night against the Saints. Then.
What have they won in 20 years?
All right.
Speaking of Vegas,
simmer down.
Speaking of Vegas,
Daddy, chill.
Go ahead, John. We're waiting.
no. Speaking of Vegas, Ben, let's talk about Vegas.
Oh God, we're moving over to hockey now.
Wait a minute. No.
wait, what are we doing?
No. Oh,
What are we doing?
Look who fell into his own trap of, wait a minute, we got. Oh, wait, that was Ben that called me out on that, probably, I think.
No,
I don't remember.
It was Ben.
Yeah, sorry. We got Jason has NBA bets because somebody of the NBA panel here actually has the guts to actually play some bets on basketball.
Is Cahoon just taking the week off, or what's going on, man?
I put $50 on the Pistons.
What do you mean take the week off? This guy hasn't bet on basketball since like pandemic days, man.
Yeah. I picked the Pistons.
Like
I thought that was a sure lock.
Like pre-vaccine day. That's last time. It was probably like
Ben, you bet on the Pistons?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you won. They won the lottery yesterday. Congratulations.
Yeah. What? There we go.
Wow.
Anyways,
who they gonna take first overall?
Nobody
that
cares.
guy, that tall guy.
Corey Perry.
Oh, who is Laureano?
Who is Laureano? Time's up. Jason, you got to get to your bets. Let's go.
Yeah. Tonight I had Phoenix over the Clippers -1.5, and that's currently holding up. However, I picked the over 221, and that's not going to hit. Unless
he said that was such.
Yeah, I mean, unless they go ballistic in the second half, it's not going to hit.
We're going ballistic.
Yeah. And then tomorrow's game, Atlanta's an underdog by 7.5 points. I'm going to take Atlanta plus 7.5, and then under 225.5.
You like them as a clean victor, or you just like them to cover with the points?
I think they'll cover the points. I
just want to double down, give you an extra little thing, just make you sound real smart at the end of it. You know, if you actually
play that man his money.
There you go.
Oh boy.
There you go. No, I think it's gonna be a close game. 7.5 seems like a lot.
All right, that's fair.
I got the under on the 226.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares, Mr. Couldn't bet.
I got the over on the amount of Ben interrupting for the rest of the show.
Well, you'll have the chance to get him back here because we're going to transition over to the ice because the NHL, I mean, we're pretty close to getting our Stanley Cup finalists here. So viewers, if you're hungry, this is probably the time for you to go take dinner break while the rest of the video plays out. Because Ben's going to be quarterbacking this segment. So
oh my God.
Go to the bathroom, nap.
I'm just kidding. Ben, you are the perfect guy to run us down with the NHL. So Ben, I'm sure you're very torn because you're rooting for Corey Perry, but you're also a very big Vegas Golden Knights fan. So you're probably a little bummed to see them probably get eliminated. So without further ado, why don't you let us know what's going on in the NHL playoffs?
Well, anyways, like you guys know, it is the conference finals right now, and Tampa versus New York Islanders is in game 7 for tomorrow now, after the Islanders came back from a 2-1 deficit with a beautiful snipe by Mayfield. And then what was his name? Beauvillier. I always forget. I always get it mixed up.
You mean who is Beauvillier?
Who is Beauvillier? With the turnover goal in overtime to propel them to a game 7. So it's anyone's, series to win now. I'm really hoping the Islanders can pull it off. And then we got the second series where it is the Golden Knights versus the Montreal Canadiens. Right now it is tied 2-2 with 11:40 left into the third period. The Habs do have a 3-2 series lead, so they could close it out here potentially. I mean, I've been really grateful that Corey Perry has been lucky enough to be in the Western Conference twice in 2 seasons. I'm hoping that they can go to the Stanley Cup Finals, but they have to close out Vegas. Vegas is such a dangerous team.
He's only been in the Western Conference the last 2 years.
Well,
I guess technically.
Yeah. But anyways, but here's the thing with the Knights though. Right now, they are struggling offensively. They're through 6 games. They only have 8 goals by defensemen and 5 goals by their offense. It's not a good series right now for Stone, Marchessault, Carlson. Those guys are pretty irrelevant. So the Montreal Canadiens have been very good at shutting it down and just playing very tight defensively. And again, when they have a 2-goal lead, they just lock it down. And I'm hoping that they can just steal it here and just be done and then move on to the Stanley Cup final. and wait for the victor of the Eastern Conference, and which will be a very weird thing to see Montreal playing an East Coast team for the Stanley Cup.
It's just gonna be weird seeing a Canadian team in the Stanley Cup Finals.
It's gross.
It's just weird to see a Canadian team in the second round period. So
Yeah,
beyond second round beyond.
It took COVID for them to get this far.
Yeah, well, they definitely pounced on the opportunity. So you got to give it to them. But overall, those are the two series right now that's going on. Nothing too really exciting there. Some stuff, though, that was going on in the rumor mill that I had heard, a few different topics. Apparently, Matthew Tkachuk out of Calgary is in cahoots with wanting out of Calgary. So he wants to move on. That would be quite interesting to see. I don't know if he will actually move. It's just the talks of the way it is. But a lot of defensemen right now are in the main streamline of all the movement talk. Seth Jones out of Columbus, look for him to be moved before the draft. So he may find a new home relatively quickly. You got Dougie Hamilton out of Carolina. All 32 teams, and I'm including Seattle into those 32 teams because of they have all called to see what offers they could make for Dougie Hamilton. So I'm sure the San Jose Sharks called and say, hey, we'll give you $12 million. Come on over. Jeez. So we'll see if he goes and takes the bait.
Me and his money.
Couple other defensemen out of Arizona, Oliver Ekman-Larsson looking to be traded. He would be for a pick, prospect, and a roster player. Obviously, a big name like that, you obviously need a lot of moving pieces and a lot of parts to make that trade happen. We'll see if Arizona's able to find a suitor for that. And you got Alex Goligoski looking to test free agency, so he doesn't want to re-sign with them. So we'll see if he gets picked up or just says screw it and goes overseas or something. But the big topic was apparently Evander Kane built up a lot of friction with teammates this last season. Look for him to be traded. How about that's not me stirring the pot. Even Jason had to look into that a little bit because they were kind of calling bullshit. But there are rumors. So I don't know who would necessarily take him and that debt relief program that he's in, but it's one of those things right now that I had a feeling with the fact that he took his personal life and affiliated it with his business of his work, where he, and having the Sharks be affiliated with that whole snafu of everything that went down. I had a feeling that was going to kind of affect the team itself and morale. But I mean, he had a great season. And like Jason did point out, he had a great season. You can't deny that. Now would be the time to move him when he has a little bit of value, and you can kind of use it as, hey, just if you want him, take him. Now's the time, because he's pretty hot, and he could maybe do something for another team. But I'm just curious who would want to take him, given that he does have a history and kind of a Taylor Hall-esque where he was moving around with a lot of problems. So we'll see where that goes. Season's going to be over here in about a month or so. So we'll see where everyone moves once the season is over and everyone's released, and who the Kraken take, and we just go from there. So yeah, so no, that's just the small updates with the hockey world. Nothing too much, but looking for next week maybe to get a little bit more into potential trades or the draft coming up.
And just a quick question, Ben. What do you? Well, yes, that also. Do you think there's a locker room issue with Dougie Hamilton? Because he was only there for 1 year, right? After being traded from Boston or let go. I
think there is a potential.
Dougie Hamilton's been off Boston for 2 or 3 years, I think.
Has it?
Yeah,
I thought he was only there for 1 year.
No, he left a couple years ago, I want to say.
I think that there is. He made some open media talks. So I don't think necessarily it's in the locker room, but maybe with management and him. Okay. So that would be my take. And when I said 32 teams, I actually did mean 31. I just miscounted. So yeah, 31.
I think out of all the
John.
players,
Yeah, I'm so.
It's even worse.
hoping-
It's even worse when you hear this. You know that he's been off Boston since 2015. He was with Calgary for
What was
3
I thinking
years. He was with Calgary for 3 years, and then he was with Carolina for 3 years. So
Oof.
damn, I must be
Really?
thinking of a different defenseman then.
yeah.
Am I thinking of Coyle? No?
We'll get back to you.
Okay, but out of
You just stay
all
with
those,
us. He'll be right back.
Well, we'll be
out
right
of,
back
out of
after these
those
messages.
players that you mentioned that are tradable or looking to be traded, Hamilton and Ekman Larson are probably the two.
There were some big names.
yeah.
Like there were a lot of people looking to be moved, but I picked big name players where it's going to get a lot of interest, and especially with Hamilton when they announced that every single NHL team made offers and calls to the Carolina Hurricanes. I'm like, that creates a lot of interest right there. That you don't hear that every day, that all of the NHL is interested. So it's just crazy.
And then speaking of the Kraken, I already forgot his name, but Craig told me that they announced the head coach today.
Ron Hextall.
Ron Hextall.
Yep, he was for the for the Flames for a minute?
That's what I was thinking.
Like
the Flames.
He was nothing too eventful.
The name
exciting.
sounds familiar, but I couldn't remember what team he was on either.
I kept getting mixed up with him and Ron Hextall, the goalie, who is the GM or whatever for the Flyers or whatever, or now the Penguins or whatever.
That's funny.
But yeah, like it is kind of a trip, but that they have such similarities with the names. But hey, I mean, it's hockey. You get all those crazy names, so it is what it is.
When is the NHL lottery? It
Uh,
already happened?
about a couple
already
weeks ago,
did?
about 3 weeks
Lottery already
ago.
happened.
The Sharks got the number 7 pick.
Yep.
Okay.
Like the Warriors.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, just go back a few podcasts. You'll see us talk about
Yeah,
that.
it's somewhere in there. Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll wait.
Hey, I took some of Jason's pills and just my mind's gone, dude.
You took the wrong pills, bud.
Yeah, you took the wrong pills.
Right? Yep.
Oh man.
If you took those pills, you may want to see a doctor after 4 hours.
Yes, sir.
Well, I think it's pretty much
that's
goes to show for our
nasty.
fans that
You're just gonna see it like in a few minutes, like
Just chew it. Just chew it and do it.
I think our fans could pretty much show that.
He's
all
gonna be
the
like,
sports we talk about,
Jesus,
NHL,
Cahoon, turn your back at least.
Is that your podcast microphone, or you just have it? Okay, well, we got.
What are we thinking here?
Whoa,
Let's bring this back.
we're gonna get demonetized.
It's like
Let's bring it back.
pulsating.
Are we 12? Let's grow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
Wait,
Did
I
you
forgot-
say
I
again?
forgot.
Did you say?
Let's grow up.
Oh,
right.
you
Speaking of
didn't
12, Bed's
didn't really say all
about to
that.
be 12 in the next segment.
Oh boy. Oh god. What's the
Here
next
we go.
segment?
Well, guess what? Because we are officially moving on to the Cohooney 5, and we also have a bowling recap in there that I've been told is going to be pretty entertaining, probably because we're children. So, Cohooney,
Well,
take it away, bud.
Ben is.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
I got
Take it
2
away.
weeks of bowling Thank you. So I got 2 weeks of bowling recaps to talk about. So not the money, but the one day before. Very first game, I did not get a single spare strike for the first 6 frames, and I shot 129.
That's usual for you, Coon.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
normal. Did you use the rails?
No, they wouldn't let me use the rails. Like, come on, I'm struggling here. But I bounced back the next game. I shot 216, and then I finished with 197. So our team actually did really good, and we won all 4. And then going into this last Monday, through 7 or 8 weeks, I can't remember how many weeks, my highest game was a 217. My first 2 games were 231, 234. And then I threw in the 3rd frame, I threw a big 4 and then a missed 7-pin and just couldn't recover. And I shot 147, which, hey, lefty, that's like shooting a 170 ready. But yeah, it sucks because I'm like, hey, if I could just do this again, I might get a 700. Instead, hey, my first ever 600 series lefty. I can't, complain too much. But it did. But something that did happen is my teammate poked himself in the eye by accident, and he lost his contact. So he couldn't see. So he couldn't see the whole night.
Hit the one in the middle.
So this guy who averages a 180 shot like 110, 120, and 110, and we lost all 4. And I'm like, great, I shoot my highest series ever lefty, and we lose all 4.
I think you guys should have done a buddy system. You could have let him use your glasses when he went up to bowl.
He's not nearsighted, he's farsighted, so it's the exact opposite.
It's fine. It would have worked out.
You don't wear glasses, it's not fine. That's
So
gonna make your eyesight
So he's
worse.
good from far, but far from good. I got you.
I guess so.
You should have just taken granny shots.
I know, right? Just go right out.
Oh,
So
geez.
try.
This is a children's program, Cohoon.
Do
No
like
need
that.
for that.
Or then you do it.
Shoot and do it.
Do
Yeah.
it.
She said.
Right. Okay. And then moving on to the Cohooney 5, a losing week, unfortunately. It was an awesome pay-per-view, but yeah. So I went 2-3. I got a loss from Jamal Hill. He got his. None of you guys watched it, but he got put in an arm bar. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it. I was in Vegas. I watched it.
Jamal Hill, dude. Did you see his arm snap?
Yeah.
Woo-hoo. He got put in an arm bar, refused to tap. His arm snapped, and he still refused. And his arm is literally just doing this, no control. And finally, the ref saw it and was like, "No, it's over."
Oh, that's nasty.
So yeah,
You know what that's like.
and then
For it just to be limp.
oh, it was disgusting. Yeah. So
Yeah, no, that's what they
2-3.
say. That's what they say. It's pretty disgusting.
I was 2-3 for UFC 263, and my overall record going into this week is 30-24-1. So I'm going to stick with UFC. We got Vegas Fight Night 30 coming up. I'm going to be taking Tim Means, Andre, get this nickname, Andre Touchy Feely. Yes, his nickname is Touchy.
What?
Yeah, his nickname's Touchy.
What?
Andre Touchy Feely.
Let me guess, he's a striker, not a grappler.
Oh, right. And then Aroni Barcelos, and then Ovins St. Preux, and the main event, which is Cyril Gane versus Alexander Volkov. I got Gane
What'd you
winning.
call?
So,
What'd you call me?
You gonna whack off?
Oh, yeah, you're funny, right? So to go over it again, my Cohooney 5 is Tim Means, Andre Touchy-Feely, Aroni Barcelos, Ovin St. Preux, and Cyril Gane.
Over who?
Volkov.
Oh my god.
Oh, you guys are assholes.
Moving along.
All
I can't wait. I can't wait till the McGregor.
McGregor.
2 weeks, guys. Saturday.
Who's he fighting? I'm
notorious-
probably so out of the loop.
What?
Who's McGregor fighting? I'm so out of the loop.
He's fighting Poirier again. It's
Okay.
it's for the trilogy, yeah.
Okay.
Poirier won last time.
Okay.
Yeah, the eulogy, whatever, Craig. Speaking of eulogies, how did your softball go?
Whoa, that's a
whoa,
that's-
low blow.
that ain't cool. That ain't cool.
Oh,
All right,
that's
well,
funny.
I guess we'll just go in process of order here of how it's played out since the last time. Let's see so we'll shift it back to not last night, but the previous Wednesday. It was the last game of the regular season. We went up against the third place team. It was a team that the first time around we kind of had a chance to beat and ended up losing in a kind of a tough game. And then the previous week we had just kind of a really low, I would probably say the low point of the season. We lost to the team that hadn't won a game yet. And the team is just kind of flat altogether. But this game, we really did turn around defensively. We had a little practice to get together. And defensively, we were a ton better that game. and it was started out really low scoring. It was 1-0 going into the bottom of the second inning, which in softball, it doesn't happen all too often. You get that low, but anyways, it went back and forth a little bit. And then we ended up going into the bottom of the sixth inning. We had a 10-6 lead. The clock was down. So you could kind of tell this was probably going to be the last inning if we could just shut it down. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do it. They ended up getting 5 runs, and then they just ran the clock out the last minute of the game. So we ended up losing 11-6. Didn't really play into changing our seeding for the playoffs. We were going to need to beat that team by at least 6 runs to jump into the 3 seed. So in a sense, we really weren't set up to even win that way, even if we would have held on to that lead that we had going into that last inning. So we ended up being the 4th seed. We had playoffs. Actually, yeah, we'll finish that out with this. So we had playoffs last night for that. We went up against the 5 seed, a team that we had beaten previously in the year when that one we were down by 10 runs going into the bottom last inning. We put up 11 runs to win that game. It was a 26-25 game. That was a crazy nuts game that we ended up going out. But yeah, last night it was sort of, the beginning was pretty reminiscent of 2 weeks ago. We just came out really flat offensively. We didn't have it going, and we found ourselves down I want to say it was 11-0 in the second inning.
Yep, it was
just kind of like I said, really reminiscent of how it was 2 weeks ago. And then offensively, we started putting a few hits together. Defensively, we really turned it up. In fact, I think because I think we ended up playing 6 innings, so we get up 11 in the first 2. I want to say we only get up 2 runs in the last 4 innings defensively, so we turned it around a lot better. Unfortunately, offensively, we were only able to muster up 7 runs. We had 1 inning, I think we put up 5, and then kind of simmered down. So we fought back, but it was just one of those where we just kind of we got down 2, and that's kind of actually been the theme of the whole season, is that even the games we won, we had to come from behind. We never really had take a lead early and then hold on to it. Which is, I think you don't want to put yourself in that situation over and over and over again, because you run in the situation where last night, perfect example, here we are in the same situation again, trying to fight back into it, but it's just we can't keep, thinking that our offense is going to keep salvaging and keep pulling the victories out. So kind of a tough one is looking at it. We ended up losing the last 4 games of the season. I guess if there's one bright side is that if we would have won last night, we would be going up against the number 1 seed of that league. And we don't do well against them. So good luck to the team we played last night. Hopefully they can maybe put up a fight, but I don't give that team much of a chance. It's not even trying to insult them. It's just this. Jason said it that night we played against them. That number 1 seed is a team that not only do you have to be playing your very best, but you also have to hope that they're off tremendously. So, and John will be playing with us in a few weeks, and I'm assuming that team's going to be out there. So John, you're going to see exactly what I mean, assuming that they're back out there, about how good that team is. So
I'll just be sitting on the bench oh, there it goes. Oh, there it goes. Oh, there it goes.
But hey, on a bright spot, we did start Fremont on Friday nights. That's Jason is on the squad for that one. And we came out looking really strong in that one. We opened up. We had a nice 13-1 victory to open up the season. Had some friendly foes on the opposing team. And I think Jason can contribute. It's a pretty strong team that we have assembled for sure. You could tell though, we had the benefit of having a lot of players who've been playing in Hayward that's been out there. And I think you could tell, other than maybe a couple of players on their team, none of them really played in over a year with the whole pandemic. So you could tell there was some rust there. But I'm also not trying to take any credit from our team. I mean, we have the bats going, and defensively, there was some plays that needed to be made, and we made them. So, solid start. We have another game tomorrow at 6:30. Hopefully, looking to make that 2-0. But yeah, overall, is a pretty impressive victory for our Friday night team. So, but Ben, I'll shift it over to you really quick. Just if there's anything you want to add on the Wednesday team, and then Jason, I'll go to you. Just if there's anything you want to add on to the Fridays as well.
Wednesday is a lot of fun. Like you said, with you guys going over to Fremont, it seemed like a lot of people still had rust, which obviously goes with not enough leagues, because they were very big about only 6 teams for the leagues that did open up. So it kind of sucks because not everyone really got an opportunity to really get going. And I'm just grateful that we got the 8 weeks to get to play, even though it wasn't a good end result. I was still grateful as hell to play with those guys and play with you guys, and it was a lot of fun. We fought every game, but yeah, it does kind of take a toll on you when you're down by 7, or we kind of created a lot of holes for ourselves throughout the whole season. And I think we'll definitely want to clean that up when we go over to Mondays and just kind of do our thing and still just have a lot of fun doing it though. So yeah.
Got a few weeks off. We'll start Mondays. The team we have on Wednesdays right now shifts over back to our normal night, which is Mondays. That starts on July the 12th. And then our Wednesday team, kind of a new put together team. Like I said, John will be on it as well. That'll be starting on Wednesday the 14th. So kind of excited to see how that plays out. So, and then, yeah, Jason, so over to you. How are your opening thoughts on how we started the season on Friday nights?
Yeah, it was fun. Everybody hit. Everybody can play defense. Everybody's pretty solid. So you've kind of said it already. We got a pretty good team, and looking forward to see where we go.
Yeah, for sure. Right on. Cool. All right. Well,
got quick trivia for you, Jason.
So
it's a trivia.
Jockberty's not tonight.
What?
Dude.
Yeah, I know, right? Jockberty's not tonight.
It was last night.
What
you want to get into that? How that played out, or
no? Well, okay. See, this is the champion. I'm just no.
Don't have to.
Sorry, spoilers.
Viewers,
Sorry,
go check out
spoilers.
Jockberty, number 7.
Yeah.
See how that crapshoot played out.
Could have been anyone's game.
What former NFL player will be on the McGregor-Poirier card?
Jared Goff.
No.
And he's on the pay-per-view card too.
Sorry, I didn't answer a form of a question.
Who is Jared Goff?
Too late.
What position?
He was defensive end.
I feel like I should know this. I don't.
Greg Hardy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Didn't even realize he was going to be on the pay-per-view card. I knew he was on the card, but
All right.
That was some key knowledge that really just put a lot more into the show. I'm really glad that we were able to bring that up.
Just shut the hell up.
Daddy, chill.
All right. Well, I know I kind of brought up how baseball was probably going to still play a part in this show. So without further ado, Jason has a little something for his Get Off My Lawn. If you don't know what we're talking about, you should know, but don't worry. Jason's going to take it away.
Yeah, you kind of touched on it. Just when I think Major League Baseball can't one-up themselves, they seem to all the time. With today, they released those atrocious All-Star unis, and they are terrible. I don't know who thought of that. It's ridiculous. That's not my main argument. My main concern, obviously, is if you've been paying attention, Major League Baseball had a shift in philosophy and said, oh, we're going to start checking pitchers for sticky substances on the baseballs. And I've been said in a couple podcasts ago, at this point, just let everybody cheat. Let everybody run them up. Let everybody have sticky substances on the ball. This is getting ridiculous to the point to where pitchers like Sergio Romo are almost dropping their pants just to make sure that there's no sticky substances going on, and it's grow up, both of you guys, all you guys.
I didn't even.
Oh, sure, it's fine during my segment, but during
No.
your segment, it's not. Okay.
It's just, my concern is it's not the fact that they're checking substances now. It's the fact that the season has already started, and now it's a mid-season change. Pitchers have been doing this all off-season training, and now they got to change their routine. Tyler Glasnow came out and said, hey, my routine has been messed up, and it's blamed for the injury because of not being able to use he actually admitted that he uses the substances, and it's just a bad look all around. I wouldn't have any problem with it if they said, hey, in the off season, we're going to start implementing this, but the fact that you do it in the middle of the season is a terrible look.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
And then
They
Manfred's
need,
saying that I think it's gone really well.
It's really well.
Okay.
It's
So
a
far.
joke.
Also,
They need.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, John.
No, you can go. I'll go after.
I was just gonna throw a really quick thing about. I'm glad you brought up the jerseys too. Can you believe that? Because normally they have the tradition where they wear those jerseys
Right.
for the home run derby, but then I thought that was always really cool. Is that the players during the All-Star game, they wear their team jerseys, which is
Yep.
cool. You represent the city you're playing for, you represent your team. Well, I guess they scrapped that idea, and they're saying they're wearing those jerseys for the All-Star game now. So now you got to sit there and watch them play in that shit too during the game. So, but yeah, no, I'm with you. Those jerseys, yeah. And, like they're up for sale for like $400. Like, dude, if you're paying, I'm sorry for anybody who pays like $400 something for that jersey. Hey
Just
man,
donate
way
it
too
to
much
us.
money to
it's your
burn.
money. You do
we'll
what
do
you
a better
got. You gonna
use
do
of
you,
it.
boo. But come on,
But
man.
with an All-Star game, a casual fan tuning in, it's not going to know that each player by the same jersey. You turn in, you're gonna, like you said, Craig. They show play in their regular uniform, so that's an Oakland A.
And
That's a Giant.
I've always thought
That's
that looked really cool.
It looked really cool.
See
I
that.
think all All-Star games should be that way. Even basketball, I think they should just wear their home or away uniforms. That way, casual fans can go, "Oh, that guy's part of the Warriors or the Lakers." Whatever.
I
the
feel like
uniform today was terrible.
That might be a little bit difficult though, because basketball, you're kind of having to click with your eyes. You have to kind of see like who's on their team, and
Right.
yeah,
Well,
and
no,
you could
they have
do
different colors. So white,
yeah,
your home white, your white.
yeah, but it's not like in baseball where there's the home whites and the road grays, and it's not, and there isn't really needing to identify like when you're on the field per se, like you don't need to identify like, oh, that's on my guys on my team and not on the opposing team. So, but I digest on that one. But John, go ahead. I didn't.
No, you're good. So like something that was bugging me is that managers are just going out to the umpires going, "Hey, check him. I want you to check him." And it's like in the middle of the count, runners are on. If you're going to do that, you need to implement a penalty if you get caught. If a manager does that, like in the NHL, managers were I don't know what the correct word is.
When they would get
with the offsides,
you would challenge. When you use a
wrong.
challenge and it's incorrect, because by the end of the first season, it's showing into the league, you could tell that the coaches were just strictly using it as a timeout more than them using it as I think that wasn't a goal. Like they know damn well that was a goal. They're just like, oh, we'll challenge it because it'll give us a free 2-minute timeout instead of a 30-second timeout.
Not no more, because you do it and you get it wrong.
Yeah.
2 minutes in the box, baby.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the word, but yeah, misusing is the best word I could think of. But yeah, the MLB needs to implement a rule for coaches if they want to check the pitcher and they're fine with nothing.
You saw Girardi, Max Scherzer the other night. That was pretty hilarious.
Oh yeah.
It's also just I think what makes it just even more funny thinking about it is what's the whole thing about baseball? What's been another big thing about baseball? Oh yeah, it's the baseball games are quote unquote taking too long.
Too long, right?
Yeah, this
is only going to add to it.
It's not helping.
But also,
and I'm a person, and I'm someone that doesn't complain about the time. I've always appreciated baseball for it being like a slower sport. So, I mean, I get it from a different fan or maybe more casual fan. They don't want to see it. They want to see it sped up. But I'm just saying this is countering that whole plan. So,
but also,
Ben,
very kind of going off of what you're saying with the games too long. Coach managers kind of abusing the system with it. Scherzer was checked 3 times in one game. Why? Mm-hmm. Like there needs to be like a rule, like where it is like I was saying something like it's like a challenge for football or no, I'm sorry, more so like hockey. If you use it and it's incorrect, you get penalized and you lose it. So you can't challenge anymore. So then a team can cheat if they wish. That's your call. That's your bad for abusing it. I
think if you challenge if you do what you tell the umpire go check that guy and they don't find anything, you lose your replay challenge. And if you do it again, and they don't find anything, so you get 2 chances. You're ejected. The
manager.
The manager's ejected. Yes.
Okay, that'd be good.
That's what I would do.
Something of that sort. I think that would be fair. Obviously, they. I feel like if you eject a manager, they could easily just have a team meeting with the head coaches and be like, okay, well, you do it now or something, right?
Well,
so
anytime the manager is ejected, obviously either the pitching or the base coach or the hitting coach or the pitching coach takes over, but you're still losing
I think it might be the bench coach that takes over.
Bench coach, yeah. But you're still losing your head coach.
Yeah. No,
I think I have a great solution. I think we just need the billions of our fans to just basically put us up to go against Manfred, and we could become the commissioner, the four of us. We could just take over, because I think we have great ideas of how we could solve everything.
Plenty of ideas.
We have, I mean, 4 heads, well, 8 heads, but it's cool. Like, we got plenty of ideas. So it's all good.
All right, we gotta move on. Let's keep this thing rolling. We gotta get to probably one of the funner. Well, I mean, they're all fun, but a good fun segment. It's the hit or quit it. So if you've watched any of our shows before, you know how this goes. It's just a roundtable discussion. We have a question, and we just let you know if we're hitting or quitting. This is also one of those big ones that if you have a question, throw it out there. Hit us up on our socials. Hit us up on the YouTube channel. Throw a question out there, and it just might be a part of one of our future shows. So I think we got 4 for sure. So without further ado, let's John, I think we'll start with you. What is your first one for hit it or quit it tonight?
So my first one, I brought up his name earlier in the show, but Ben Simmons, all the talks around Philadelphia is he's going to be getting traded. And some of the talking heads are talking about some of the best fits for him. And I agree with some of them that one of the best fits is the Warriors. As if he goes to the Warriors, all he needs is defense. He doesn't need to be there for shooting, which is perfect. But if they do trade him, it would take like Wiggins or Draymond, Poole, and like the 2 firsts and another first. So hit or quit it. Would you trade Wiggins, Poole, the 2 firsts this year and next year's first for Ben Simmons?
Okay, I'll take this.
I think Jason can start off.
Go ahead.
I'll take this. I'm going to quit it. I wouldn't trade for Simmons for Wiggins straight up. Wiggins he can shoot. He can play some defense. Guess what Ben Simmons can't do? He can't shoot. He can't even shoot free throws. He's an exciting player. He's good. He's good when he goes downhill and he has breakaways. But I'm taking shooters in a shooting league now all the time. So quit it.
Okay, Craig.
Yeah, I'm quitting it too. That seems like way too much for a guy that exactly. I mean, Jason said it's so great. It took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say the exact same thing.
I'm sure.
But Jason was on top of it. So, but yeah, I mean, from my thing, I think Wiggins has kind of been one of those like kind of up and down kind of guys from what it sounds like, from what I've heard. But I don't know. I think that's just way too much to give up for a guy. So especially because isn't he not even like the best player on the Sixers? Isn't that Joel Embiid's role to be the best? Isn't he the best player on that team?
Yeah.
And his value's low right now too.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna same church on the same pew on that one. I'm gonna quit it.
Same drawers.
Same drawers. Right in your lap there.
Well, I'm gonna have to agree just to quit it on that because one, I don't know who the fuck Ben Simmons is.
Come
Dude,
on,
it was literally a
dude,
Jockfrey answer not
what are
too
you
long
talking
ago.
about, Ben? You follow the Kardashians. Those are your favorite people.
This is the guy that's with the new Kardashian.
No, he's an ex. He's an ex of one of them.
Isn't the entire league?
Okay. So yeah, isn't the whole league? So anyways,
yeah, right.
Bang bang.
It's going to Pound Town. So anyways, I would say quit it just because like if off of what Jason was saying, if he's not really showing much value, if he's not really an all-around great, the best player, I think that's too much to ask for. 2 firsts. I was even saying that was too much for Leonard a few hit it or quit it's back. I remember that was a name that was thrown in there and I was still thinking that was too high. So this one, I'm going to have to agree. Same thing. That's too damn much for one player. Not worth it. So yeah, I'm in the same panties, same pew, whatever you said.
Get the red panties
and so
we're millionaires.
I would say quit it and knock that shit off, Cahoon, because that's just a silly question.
Ben, now that you brought up panties, you need to check out Conor McGregor's press conference when he brought that up. He's like, oh, it's so funny. You would love it.
Okay,
but
all right.
I only brought up the trade because I have no idea what it would take to get Ben Simmons.
Pack of raisins.
I'm gonna quit it though for what the people on the talk show said, because that's what they said. I'm like, that's just way too much to get Ben Simmons. But I do think he would be a good fit for the right
price.
No, yeah,
like that is too much.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah. No. So, okay, that's fair. But Jason, what's your question, sir?
All right, boys. You guys are going to the Battle of the Bay on Saturday, right?
Mhm.
A's versus Giants.
Could be.
This is, yep, could be. All right, whatever.
Possibly.
Can't confirm nor deny. This is June. My question is, will we have a Battle of the Bay come October? Hit it or quit it?
Anyone want to start this?
I'm gonna quit it.
Okay.
As much as we love the A's, we got to see what they are in September. It's just way too early to say. They always just seem to falter in October, and I think the same thing you could say about the Giants. Giants, I think by October, the Giants will be the 3 seed in the NL West. I still think the NL goes through Dodgers or Padres, and I still think the AL goes to the White Sox or Rays.
Ben, you want to go?
Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, I'm quitting it as well. I'm kind of on the same kind of boat that John was kind of bringing up. I said it before. I mean, most of us predicted the White Sox come out of the American League. I'm still going to stick with them. And I think another thing that comes into play too is that if the A's don't end up winning the division, which I still think they're going to, but if they don't, they're right back in that wild card game. And as good as Chris Bassett and Sean and I have both been, dude, even if they go and get Max Scherzer, if they somehow make a splash to get him, I don't like the A's chances in a 1-game playoff. I don't.
They're back to the 1 game? I thought they were doing what they did last year.
No, they went back to the 1 game. So, which by the way, in case you guys didn't know, do you guys want to take a guess of if the playoffs are right now, who they'd be playing right now?
They've been playing Tampa Bay.
Yeah, they'd be playing Tampa Bay Rays. So
Boston's up by like half a game, I think.
Yeah, so don't need a repeat of that. So, but yeah, so I'm quitting it. I mean,
especially now that they have Franco.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I think the Giants are going to be in the playoffs for sure. I'm still kind of in what you said, John. I don't think they're necessarily going to be the division winner. I could see them being the top wild card though. I mean, the Padres have been kind of up and down. I'm not really sure just how strong that team really is going to be. Because just when I think they're going to be really good, they kind of falter a little bit. So
I would love to see.
We'll see how it goes. So
yeah. I would love to see Gosman, Musgrove in a playoff, 1-game playoff. That would be so fun to watch.
Well, I don't think Musgrove may not even pitch that game because it might be a guy like Yu Darvish in that one. So, but anyways, yeah. So I'm quitting it. I would say they're not. Both of those teams probably aren't even my top 2 to come out of their respective leagues right now. So I am quitting it.
All right. I would say quit it. That would be really cool to see. Like that would be really awesome. But unfortunately,
Jason's ever got to see it.
I'd have to say quit it though, just because the Athletics are a lot like the Pitches. That 1-game wild card and they're done. It's just the no deep runs. So it's unfortunately the way that it's the stats, it's the fact, unfortunately. So I'm hoping maybe, but I'm gonna have to say quit it. Just statistically speaking, I'm gonna have to say quit it, especially if they have to play the Tampa Bay. So anyway,
you're still gonna go.
Jason, I mean,
can't believe that's lived since like the very first podcast. It's still alive,
live and kicking.
Jason, I feel like this is gonna be a clean sweep. So why don't you?
I'm gonna quit it as well. A's record in playoffs hasn't been very good lately. Like I'm gonna go with the White Sox, like we predicted. Like Craig, you said it. We predicted before the season started. White Sox out of the AL. I'm gonna stick with them and NL. Crapshoot. I don't know who's coming.
Yes, Montreal. Yes, Montreal. Yes.
Greg, you need to send me this clip so I can literally just put that only on. You need to send me this so I can edit literally just that.
That boy needs to chill, dude.
Run that guy.
You would have thought the Ducks just won the cup.
Oh my god.
Oh where were we?
That's going on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
Guys want a Ducks uni and root for the Canadians like they just want.
Perry.
Nobody cares.
Oh.
Who is Gaylord Perry?
Yeah. Oh.
You're going to hell.
Late on that.
Next
one.
question.
Next question, Ben. You got one, so why don't you go ahead?
All right.
Are you okay? Catch your
Calm
breath.
yourself.
So with me mentioning that whole rumor about Evander Kane.
Oh, I'm about to say you must stop.
I can't finish that sentence.
I know.
Hit it or quit it. With everything going on that the San Jose Sharks do look to move and trade Evander Kane during this offseason.
I'll start. So to form your question, you said hit it or quit
Damn it,
it.
I was going to do the
You
same
will
thing.
Look to trade Evander Kane.
Damn it!
I think with that as the idea, I would
I was
say
going to do the same
I'll
thing.
hit it. But if we're just talking in general, if the Sharks are going to trade him, I would probably lean towards quit it, only because, look, I know a lot of the rumors that come out, there's probably something to it, and it's probably more than likely true. But I don't know. For me, it seems difficult to consider the Sharks because, I mean, let's face it, the Sharks are like, no, we're not going to rebuild. We're not going to rebuild. We just got to make a couple adjustments here, and we'll be right back in the thick of things. We'll be right there, and blah, 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 all that stuff like that. I would find it hard to see them have that motto if they're going to trade. And arguably, like, statistically, you can't argue it. Their best player.
Yep.
So, I mean, the only way I could see it is they get a good package back for him.
Okay.
So yeah, but so to answer your question, to be that guy, I would say quit it, I would say hit it. That they'll look. I'm not saying maybe they'll listen to offers.
Yeah.
They'll listen to it. But in general, I would lean towards. I don't think they're going to trade him. I'd say quit it.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna quit it because I don't think a single team in the NHL will pick up the phone.
Okay, that's valid. So just like the interviews during Jockparty, very bland and plain. All right, moving on to
no
Jason.
content, just like a marshmallow.
There we go.
Just chewy with no nutritional content whatsoever.
Quit it.
There we
Move
go.
on. Quit it.
Jason?
Move on.
Yeah, like Craig said, I think you're not doing your job as a GM if you're not calling on other players. I think they'll make calls, they'll receive calls. I've said it before, if you're going to trade them, that's the time to do it. And like Craig said, if you get a good package, yeah, they'll probably deal them. I'm going to quit it. That I don't think he'll be dealt, though.
Okay. I will agree with you guys as much as I would like to see him get moved, just to be moved. I don't think with everything going on and everything, I don't think anyone is going to be willing to deal enough away to receive him with everything that's going on because he is such a wild card off the ice. And so, yeah, I just think that unfortunately it would be a quit-it situation and he will just stay as a Shark and keep stirring the pot in the locker room. So, yeah. But, John, what about you for your last question?
Oh, I was like, I already answered.
Rolling right back.
You don't have
back
one
around
right
the
there.
horn.
Okay, so besides the Sharks defense, which I think we all agree is the worst part about the Sharks, and
Nope, goaltending's
I think
worse. No, I'm just kidding. I think defensively,
Okay.
yeah.
I think another thing is there's no leadership with the Sharks. Like, even though Couture is the captain, I don't think he's the best leader for the team. And it got me thinking back to all the captains that the Sharks have ever had. I believe Joe Pavelski was the best captain in Sharks history. Hit it or quit it that you agree Joe Pavelski was the best captain in Sharks history.
Someone else start this one.
I'll start. I can't necessarily agree with the whole history because I did get into hockey late, so I don't know about like early on into the Sharks and Olin Nolan and all that. But so from 07 on, where it was like Marlowe, Pavelski,
Rob Blake for
yada.
one year.
Rob Blake.
Rob
was
Blake,
there,
yeah.
Joe Thornton.
Okay. But I would say out of everyone, yeah, I feel like Pavelski was a very good captain for the Sharks because of the leadership of putting himself in front of the net to take hits, to make plays, to show and put his body out there for the team, to be like, I am sacrificing everything for the team. And off the ice, I felt like he wasn't necessarily the most blunt or the most open and honest with the way that he felt his team like lacked in that night, or whatever, when it came to the criticism part, like Couture does. But I think that maybe that's kind of the way the Sharks are, though. They don't really do necessarily the best with that kind of atmosphere where Couture does that. And I don't think that people are really big fans of the way that Couture kind of just speaks his mind about the team. I think that they would appreciate that to stick with Bugner as the coach. But when it comes to a player that they're sitting with in the locker room, it's like, call us out when we need to in the locker room, but you don't need to go on media and just like put us on the boss like that. And so, yeah, I just think it's something like that. So I would say hit it that Pavelski is the best captain that I've seen for the San Jose Sharks. So, all right.
Jason, you want to go or you want me to go?
I'll go. I'm going to hit it. I think Pavelski has been the best captain. Again, like Ben, I picked up hockey around like 05. So it's from 05 on, I think Pavelski's been the best captain for the Sharks. But you got to remember, too, that, you lost the leader in Joe Thornton to Toronto. I think they have been really good about saying that the Sharks are a leadership group or a core. It's just not one guy. So we lose somebody like Joe Thornton, and then Pavelski's going to Dallas. You lost two main pieces of your leadership group there. But like Ben said too, Pavelski was always out there in front of the net, doing the face-offs, doing whatever he needed to show he was in it to win it. Just didn't get the cup done. But yeah, I'm gonna go with I'll hit it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna follow suit, but kind of exactly what you guys both touched on. Like, I don't know if I want to say in history, because I watched hockey when I was young, and I did go to games, but I didn't really start really giving full on attention to the Sharks. So I was probably like a sophomore in high school. So I think the thing with Pavelski is that I remember when he came out that he was signing with Dallas, I remember saying that it's really hard to put into words what Pavelski's probably meant for just the team and the organization altogether. And I think we've seen a little bit of just what the team looks like without him now. And I think there's a difference. I'm still on the firm point that I think might have still been the best move for both teams that he left. But I don't want to get into that. That's for another day, another story. But yeah, I would say I'd say I'm hitting it that Pavelski's probably been the best captain that I've seen. And I know the whole Logan Couture thing, critical about what he says. To be honest with you, I like that Couture's like that. Same. Because I think a lot of the times there isn't a lot of accountability that happens when this team doesn't do good. And that's actually one thing I do like about Bugner as the coach, is that when guys don't have good games, they get benched. And I think that needs to happen, because this whole this whole mentality of like, well, we played really hard and we just didn't have it. Like, sorry, it doesn't really run anymore. Like, you got, if this is like the whole, we're not rebuilding and whatever, then sorry, you need to start having accountability if you guys are, we still think we have enough to make it. So I know I'm sidetracking a little bit, but I felt like I needed to just kind of say that a little bit. But yeah, to your question though, John, yeah, I will say hit it from my liking, and that's knowing that I'm a big Patrick Marleau fan and I was a big fan when he was captain. I think Joe Pavelski is probably the best captain that I've seen.
Yeah, and I'm going to hit it as well. I mean, Owen Nolan was for 5 years, but I mean, in those 5 years, I can't remember how many playoffs they went to. And then Marleau, he was on and off for like 4 years, and I think he was a little too young when he had it. So to me, it's between Thornton and Pavelski. And I think the thing with the team, you see when Pavelski was the captain for those 4 years, like how the team reacted to Pavelski. Anytime like he got hit or anytime something got thrown his way, like how they always rallied behind him, and he was always there. He wasn't hurt. Like with Couture, another knock on Couture both these years is he gets hurt. He misses games. Like Pavelski never did that, and I think for him to always be there, he's always in front of the net. He's taking the shots. I think he's the best captain in Sharks history.
All right. I applaud that.
So I guess that'll wrap up today's Hit It or Quit It for this go around. So good stuff. I felt like we were all on the same page on just every question. Though. I don't know if we had any restrictions. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
It just goes to show that we're not paid by ESPN to just argue to argue.
No, you're right.
Or Fox Sports.
Or Fox Sports, whatever.
No,
we're getting paid.
You guys are getting paid.
Right? I'm only getting 100.
I don't think so, Tim.
All right. Well, as we get ready to wrap this show up, put a bow on it. We like to end the show with little shout outs. So this can be anywhere from people, the viewers, anything out there. So boys, I don't know if anyone wants to start necessarily with a shout out they may have, a shout out or two.
I'll go.
Craig, I have one, but I want to make sure I don't just take.
I was gonna say, I know someone's gonna take the
Jason,
one
you started off.
Go
Jason,
ahead.
You started off.
Oh, you go before me, Craig.
Okay, well, I'll start. I want to shout out our friend Jonah Martin, graduating high school.
Okay, we're good.
And is going to be moving on to Upper Iowa University starting in the fall. So congrats to him and his parents, Keith and Kelly, good friends of ours. And good luck the rest of the way, bud.
There we go.
Right on. All right.
Craig?
Am I going
Ben?
next?
Ben?
No. Go ahead, Craig.
Okay. So I did remember I did have a couple of shout outs. I did want to say a couple birthdays. Some friends, like a friend, Kristen from high school. She had her birthday a couple nights ago. Happy birthday to her. I was lucky to see her a couple of days ago on her actual birthday. So it was nice to see her. She lives up in Oregon. She has actually watched our show too before, guys. In fact, the one show that she has watched was our first episode, the 2-hour episode. She watched the entire thing.
Bless her heart.
So bless her heart. That's a commitment right there, especially because that was when we were all breaking into this thing.
We're so fucking awful.
Well, I don't know.
I think someone's worst show was last.
I don't know.
I think someone's worst show was last show.
That crazy into it. So,
Jason, he had a rough one.
But yeah, definitely a shout out
He had
to
to deal
her.
with your ass.
Yeah. So shout out to Kristen. A couple of birthdays from our softball team. Elisa, she had her birthday. I think it was on Sunday. Might have been Father's Day. So she had her birthday. So happy birthday to her. And then also today is our other teammate Rose. That's her birthday as well. So happy birthday to both of them. Belated for Lisa. Happy birthday to Rose. And then the other shout out I want to do is Carl Nassib of the Las Vegas Raiders. He came out this week. He's posted a video. He is the first openly gay NFL player in, I believe it was history. So shout out to him for that.
It's not a history. It's active history because there was Michael Sam, but he never actually made an active team.
Okay. Yeah. So there's that. So shout out to him. I thought that was really cool. Just the video he kind of posted out, just, saying that not doing it for attention. I think he just wanted to be out there. And I just hope that if there's any other players out there that are gay as well, that they can feel comfortable to be open about it. So definitely a shout out to him for that. So I think that's just a really cool moment. I think just not even just NFL, just kind of sports history in general. So, but those are my shout outs for tonight.
All right, John.
I have two. I'm going to first shout out this state of California. Everyone did really good. Everyone's been doing such fantastic jobs of getting vaccinated and, being good with protocol that the governor finally lifted the mask mandate last Tuesday. And it feels really nice to be able to go outside and, go to customers and not have to worry about the burden of having to wear a mask anymore. So just going to shout out California. And then I'm also going to shout out my sister, Angelica, just graduated high school. So those are my two shout outs.
Nice. I got one shout out. I want to shout out the Montreal Canadiens and Corey Perry for making it to the Stanley Cup final. I couldn't really be happier.
Actually, all the time.
No, it's okay. I bought a little extra airtime for this. It's very good. 18th seed
getting
to
paid?
sneak into the playoffs for this and go to the Stanley Cup final. It's just really a great feeling to see Corey Perry go back to the cup again. I'm really hoping they can pull it off this year because Montreal has been a very big surprise these playoffs, and I'm just so happy inside. Like I could not be any more happy right now.
You know, and the best part too about it is that I hope he actually does win the cup, to be honest with you, and that is because I want him to be like, this is my favorite cup winning team I've ever been a part of.
I'm going to retire as a Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to see him hoist the cup again.
He'll be like he'll be like, Ducks? What is that? That team sucks.
I want him to just enjoy the environment again and atmosphere. So can't be any more happy. So I'm really grateful for them. So that is my shout out, and shout out to my boy Rist for backing me up with the love of Corey Perry and the Montreal Canadiens to beat Vegas. All right. So that's what's up.
Hold on.
Mark Stone finished the third round of the NHL playoffs with the same amount of points as Celine Dion.
What did you say?
He said that Mark Stone finished with the exact same amount of points in the third round as Celine Dion.
Oh man,
that's a great note to end the show on. So
that's a parting shot.
That's a good way to wrap it up. But yeah, so that's our show, everybody. We want to thank you so much for tuning in with us, whether it's your first time. If it is your first time, thank you for giving us a listen. If you're a returning viewer, we really appreciate you coming back and giving us a listen. And make sure to give us a follow over at our YouTube channel at Sports Bets, but mostly Chaos Podcast. You'll get notifications when we have our videos up there, whether it's one of our weekly episodes or our Jockrities, which, by the way, have another episode we posted last night. If you haven't by chance gotten around to it, another new one's up there. So, and then also on our socials over on Instagram and Twitter, it is at SBBMC_pod. Make sure you give us a follow and leave your comments. Send us some messages, whether it's on the channel or any of our socials. We'd love to hear from you guys. Any feedback you guys have. If you want to let us know that Ben shouldn't talk as much as he does, then we're totally cool with that too. We'll definitely allow that. So, but boys, is there anything else you want to add on before we say goodnight? So,
go Habs, go!
Why would you even give him a chance?
Okay, that's it right here. Thank you all so much. We'll see you guys very, very soon.